You got it. The tour picks back up again today. We now are at Frontier. I am going to be here talking to 4 different schools today. We're going to start AA Conference Frontier. Listen, you know that Frontier has been right there the last couple years. And in fact, last time out in the field, they were actually a sectional champion out there is what they did. So big expectations here at Frontier. I am going to start with our senior, Jeff Pienta. Jeff, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
So Jeff, you right now are going to be one of the pitchers that are going to be a part of this staff this season. A staff that was the key to a sectional championship in the past. Talk about pitching and how important it will be to Frontier this season.
Well, I mean, pitching is everything, especially in this league. Everyone that we play, all of our opponents, we're all around the same skill. So it really just comes down to whoever can get the job done that day. And we have 9 guys that can really bring it every single game. And we know the expectations that we have to live up to, and we're not scared of that. We know the team that we have. We know what we could do. So it's really just about when we show up. We need to show up every game.
You got 9 pitchers on the staff ready to go.
Yep.
What does that say right there, Western New York? It says Frontier is ready to go. It says we're ready to compete in the AA Conference right now. So let's talk about this. The AA Conference, as you know, one of the toughest conferences in Western New York. The other one probably we talk about is the owner of the complex right here, Justin Sanacito, with Canisius and the Monsignor Martin division.
Yeah.
You really are talking right now with 2 of the toughest divisions out there. So tell me, with this pitching staff, how are you going to lead the way?
We're not scared of a single team. We know the pitching staff that we have. We're not scared to go against any team. We don't feel that we have guys that can't go against certain teams. We can put any of our pitchers on the mound against any team. We feel comfortable with any single one of them.
What's the ultimate goal this year?
Win Section 6.
Love it. Listen, Jeff, I want to say thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
No doubt we expect great things coming from Frontier. No doubt that you guys are going to be standing right there in the end. Can't wait to see it, and we're all going to be watching.
Thanks, appreciate it.
I am now with our head coach of Frontier. 16 years at the helm of Frontier. I have head coach Mike Morlock. Mike, thanks for joining me today.
Pleasure to be here with you.
So, Mike, listen, you are the defending sectional champions out here. But it's been 2 years since we've had anybody really out there take the field. Many of these kids weren't even on the team when you experienced the sectional championship. How do you get that mentality into the players that you are the defending sectional champions?
Well, it comes from the coaches first and foremost. It comes from anybody from the outside. We've had some kids who were here actually back in 2019 who have spent a little time with our guys who are still in touch, and they're still firing them up. But it comes from the mentality from the coaches building it into the program. Our coaches are as old school and plain as they come. We give it to them plain, we give it to them simple, we give them the mentality we want, and then we try and build it in.
Listen, I'll tell you at this point, I've interviewed 3 of your players. They know they're the defending champs. They know what they've got to do. And you've got some leaders also preaching that out.
I've got some real leaders, especially in those 3. 2 of them are captains, and the other one certainly could be a captain. He's a senior. Those 3 guys are 3 kids who have a chip on their shoulder in a good way. Never playing the wrong way, but in a good way. They are here to prove as a team that we belong. They know what we're up against in our division, which we think is the best division in Western New York. Incredible talent across the board there, but you know what? We're still the champs, and that's how we have to carry ourselves.
Don't say that too loud, because we talked about it earlier. Justin Sanacito, who's out here, they take claim that Monsignor Martin has to say that.
Oh, of course they do, and he should. And that's exactly the way they should feel.
Just having fun right there. You know that, Coach, right? Because there are multiple divisions, as we know. We're having fun right now when we say that. But okay, so now this is something I've been preaching now in almost every one of the interviews I've done. Pitching may be more important this season than any other season, because shortened season. And you're literally going to have to play same teams back to back. So pitching staffs need to be very deep, right? That's going to be the key. Wow. You've got a pitching staff 9 pitchers deep.
We think we have 9 kids who can step on the mound and give us some innings in a varsity baseball game. We don't think we have any kids who, quite honestly, can go out and throw 7 innings, we are going to run some pitchers at them. We have them on a schedule. Coach Hesketh does a great job with all our pitchers. I don't have to bother with our pitchers. He completely handles all of it for me. But we know the difference. We know the game has evolved into multiple pitchers, and we're not afraid of doing that at all with 9 guys.
9 guys is though a large staff. So you think the key to get them work will be to cut the innings down in a game to be able to make sure the guys get to work?
Correct. Less pitches, less innings, more pitchers. So we're not going to... The rule that's going around is, of course, not facing someone for the 3rd time. We may not even get through the 2nd time. We're going to bring a fresh arm. It might be from the other side of the... Might be a lefty, might be a righty, but we've got both. And I think that's going to be the way to go, especially now this year with trying to be safe with kids' arms. They haven't had the practice and the build-up that we normally get indoors. So we don't think we're going to stretch them out that much and take a chance with it.
Fantastic. Coach, right now, returning players. Who are the returning players that we need to be watching out for?
The number 1 returning player that everyone should be looking at is Gavin Barrello. He is our only player that played with us in 2019. We have 1 or 2 others who just came up for the playoffs. Gavin was our start of the entire 2019 season into the championship. He's got the biggest chip on his shoulder of all, and I love it. I love the kid. I love his attitude. He's nonstop work, 24/7, all year round. He's made leaps and bounds from his freshman year. He's a player to watch.
Fantastic. Now, your whole team's new. Like we talked about, you and the entire Western New York community, baseball community, will be seeing new kids for the first time. Who are the new players that we need to watch out for?
You need to watch out for Nick Schultz coming up. Nick Schultz was going to play with us last year in the varsity as a sophomore. He obviously didn't get a chance. As a junior there this year, another 24/7, 12-month kid who's worked his tail off. The only thing that could ever hold him back is his mentality, and we think that's matured enough. He's going to be a stud. We think Jeffrey Pienta, who unfortunately missed out on his junior year, also a hockey player, very good goalie. Jeffrey's very dangerous from the left side. He's our left-handed power. He's also one of our 9 pitchers. He can do the damage. So we've got a number of especially juniors who have played together since they were about 7 or 8 years old. One of our other coaches makes sure he keeps them together during the summer. These guys are a tight-knit group. We have a very small roster of 13. We have a very tight roster of guys who get along and know what it's like to play with each other.
You know, your players alluded to that, this family atmosphere, which I have said years every time I go out. You know how many games, how many teams I see.
Oh,
but I can tell you every time those teams that are close, they're going after something special.
Oh.
How does that closeness get created here?
Well, you know, it took a long time here for us to actually get what we wanted. We felt like way back in before 2019, we had it figured out with the equation. We just couldn't get enough kids to buy in at the same time. When we got that one good group that stuck together, we tell them we got to have talent, we got to have hard work, and we got to have coachability. Those 3 things you have to happen. If we're missing one, we're in trouble. We've always been, to be quite honest with you, missing a little bit of coachability. When we got it in 2019, even then they didn't figure it out till the second half of the season. When they did figure it out, it was great. We felt like we were one of the top teams in Western New York, like it finished out. That's what we got to get this team to buy into. You got to be coaching. They have talent. They have worked their butts off, to be quite honest with you, all winter. These guys have worked really hard as a group, as individuals. Now we just got to get them coachable and believe.
Hey, Western New York, watch out. This Frontier team is for real. They will be competing for a sectional championship. There's no doubt this is a team to watch out for. Coach, I can't wait to see what happens. We're all going to be watching.
I can't wait to get started, and I can't thank you enough for the things you do in this interview.
No problem. Thanks, Coach. My next player from Frontier, Nick Schultz. Nick, you are going to be a part of this staff that I just talked to Jeff about. 9 pitchers strong.
Yeah.
You're going to be one of those pitchers in that staff. You're also, when you're not pitching, going to play middle infield right there. So talk about this pitching staff. Tell me what's going to separate you guys out there, especially in a crowded division.
Yeah, of course. Our pitching staff this year is really big. Obviously, there's a lot of depth. So when we get in pinches, the next guy up in the rotation is just as good as the next one. All 9, great off speed, great location, so we should be pretty dominant out there and just look for weak contact across the field.
What's your strength on as far as a pitcher?
Me personally, I love working my off-speed pitches, down and away, low and in. Like, I like working all sides of the plate, so keep them off balance is the biggest thing.
The last time we talked about this, Frontier, right, was known for their pitching.
Right.
We saw one of your pitchers, who's now at the University of Albany, right now leading the way, right?
Of course, yeah.
He helped that team, because of pitching, get to a sectional title.
Yeah.
What do you learn from that and take from that to help this team advance?
No, yeah, that year was huge for sure, and obviously big names like Connor and that. They taught us a lot about the game, and really the grit and determination they had throughout the whole year was something we all took away from them.
So you're now a leader on this team, right? You were one of the guys before looking up to all those guys that were out there. You're a leader. So what do you need as a leader to bring to this team?
The biggest thing, with COVID is like last year we were canceled out, so obviously big shoes to fill, just hopping right into it. But the biggest thing, not only me but the whole team is going to hold each other accountable, and really that should push everyone to stay motivated and really just stay driven throughout the season.
Nice. So here's a big question.
Yeah.
How's it feel to be back out here?
It's great, man. It feels good. This team's really tight. Really, everyone's like a family out here. So seeing them back together on the field is huge. It really is.
It's funny you say that, you bring that up, because I will tell you the teams I've seen that have won big titles along the way, and I could tell you who they are team for team for team. Every one of them I can look back and say that family atmosphere was one of the biggest reasons for it. How do you think that family atmosphere came about?
Listen, a lot of these guys have known each other since grade school, elementary school, and everyone's pretty local here, so like practices, even outside of here, 3 or 4 days a week, same group of kids, and a whole team, everyone's showing up, putting in the work, so on and off the field. So
Fantastic.
It's great to be here.
Awesome. So listen, what's the goal for this season?
Listen, the goal is the same as it's always been. We're going to go out and win a section title.
There you go. I love it. Absolutely love it. Hey, listen, I want to say, Nick, thanks so much for joining me today. Wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
No doubt that this Frontier team is going to be a team to watch out for.
Absolutely.
No doubt we're going to be seeing what happens, and I can't wait to see just like all of Western New York.
Yeah.
Look, my next player, the catcher, the leader on the team right here at Frontier. Gavin, we talked to 2 players, right? They were your pitchers. Now we're going to talk to the catcher. And I have Gavin Barrello right here joining me, who's going to be the leader of this staff. You're the guy that the pitchers are going to look up to, right? You're the guy that's going to be big on this game and be able to pull this through.
Right.
That's a lot of pressure right now. What do you think?
I'm ready to handle it. I love that type of pressure and that type of atmosphere around me. And to be the leader is just a great opportunity for me to excel my game to the next level even more. And I think it's going to be fun.
So, Gavin, a catcher, I always say, could also be a coach on the team at points, right? They have to know every aspect of the game and what to do the minute that ball comes into play or before that ball's even thrown up there on the mound.
Right.
So what is going to be the key to this pitching staff? You've got 9 guys to worry about. How are you going to manage that pitching staff?
Well, like Schultz said, it's we have great mix of pitchers throughout the staff, and they know what they have to do, and all I have to do is keep them in line. Keep them throwing their pitches, keep their head in the game. Don't think about the next game or the game before. Just focus on one pitch at a time and stay in the moment of the game.
You were around these pitchers that were here in the previous team that just won that sectional championship, right? I know you were a part of it. You were around them. You saw it.
Yeah.
What did you learn from that crop of guys that you can take to this team you have now?
Confidence. Be confident. And play like the underdog. Play like the underdog. You have nothing to lose. We're a very confident team. Like he said, we're a family. Nothing scares us, really. We go out there and compete with every team just like everyone does with each other, and it's going to be fun.
It's funny you say that, Gavin, the underdog role, right? Because 2 years ago, you guys absolutely could have played that underdog role.
Right.
Everyone knows who you are now, though, right? Exactly. So different roles. Does that change emotions, thoughts, or what happens out there on the field?
Not at all. We have to play like we're the reigning champs, and we will this year. Remember, just have confidence and go out there and play your game, and we'll be fine.
That's awesome. Hey, listen, Gavin, congratulations so far on a great career because you've done real well. I've interviewed you before. I know what you've got, what you're capable of there out in the field. No doubt great things are in front of you. I cannot wait to see this Frontier team take the field. We're all going to be watching. Hey, best of luck to you.
Thank you.